had in her previous practice been a master, what we call an institutional queen in the intensive care unit. I don't mean to be sexist. There are institutional kings in respiratory, nurse, every department, every discipline, kings and queens. But I want you to know what I mean by that, because I think it'll explain some of our history. It's very clear. Our history is clear. 35 years is absolutely clear. She was an institutional queen. Now let me tell you from a nursing perspective, and I could go into respiratories because I got all stories about it. When I meet with the respiratory, I tell them that, you know. But you have to know I'm going to tell you what I know. And the reason I know so much about being an institutional queen is I was one. I was an institutional queen in every intensive care I worked in. And by the way, it's a coveted role. There can only be one on a shift. Two would never get along. It's a power issue. I am more important than you. I am the one you come to. If you want anything, this is the one, you know. And in order to do this, the criteria, let me just give you a little sense of a criteria, see if you recognize it. For example, to be the institutional queen, you have to be able to pass meds, more meds in an hour than anybody thinks humanly possible, always on time and without instant report. You are good. And you can start an IV, not just any IV. I'm talking about the IV that no one else can get started, and you get it in the first try. And when you're trying to impress people, which is pretty much all the time, you put it in a place they didn't even know there was a vein. They go, "No kidding, there's a vein there?" And you go, "Yeah." And you love these people. You love these people, especially during arrest, because whatever you need, they seem to have in their pocket. Or if they don't have it in their pocket, they have keys to the rooms that no one else knows exist, and they can get whatever it is you need, and you think, "My God, they're good." And you go, "Yeah, we just are." And we used to kid that we're going to have to change the criteria because there's going to be too many of us. And so we used to say that in order to be the institutional queen, you had to be able to put a Foley and an NG in at the same time with one set of gloves. Now, if you found somebody else who could do that, you could say, "But I'm faster than you are," because the hallmark characteristic is that you are so organized. And if you're faster than me, that must mean you're a little bit more organized, and then I guess it's your turn. Do y'all have a sense of what I'm talking about here? Now, the reason that's so critical is because we actually got to stand on what we did was the essence of our practice. And how fast you could do it, and did you leave anything undone for the next shift? That's where your credibility started to come. And we started, and I'm only going to speak for ourselves, but we started thinking that our scope of practice was all the list of tasks that we could do and how fast we could do it and how we could get it done. So can you imagine how stressed we were when they started to say, "We got to change the system, and who else can do your task?" And what did we learn? There's not a task we do that can't be done by a non-professional taken off the street and taught in less than 2 weeks. Put it in perspective, millions of people take their own meds at home, and they don't screw up anywhere near as royally as you and I. They do their own, they do their own ventilator care at home. They do their own hemodynamics monitoring at home now. I mean, they're taking care of their child on this ventilator. We found out that hemodynamic monitoring, they do better than the critical care do because they know their body better. And I was on part of that research that led that, and I was quite sure that couldn't happen, but it did. And I mean, we wouldn't even let the nurses on the other units do it, let alone the patients doing it in the other places. And now we got the patients and their families doing it better than us, getting better outcomes, and we're thinking, what is wrong with this picture? So if you stand on the task you render, you should be replaced. But that isn't the essence of your practice. Would you agree? If it was, you would be replaced. It should be. Professional practice comes with something completely different. But if you don't know, and you don't have a system designed to support that, you become institutionalized. So she was the institutional queen in the neurotrauma unit. However, before she left, she was a professional practice leader that brought and changed the culture to an unbelievable, phenomenal state.